Hey there, Virgo Sun, Virgo Moon, Virgo Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directive. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy of the moon to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. I'd like to use the Moon Astrology because the Moon Astrology has a lot to do with how we feel, and how we feel is our experience, right? So we're going to talk a lot about the moon and what it's doing this week. This is the week for December 7th through the 13th. I want to thank everybody for your love and your support, and for your likes, your shares, and your comments, for showing up here every week and just, sharing your energy with me on this journey that we're taking together. So we're going to get some overall guidance here from the Good Tarot from Colette Baron Reed. All of the decks I use will be in the description box below. And I'm actually going to read at least some of what she writes, because there was a reason we selected this deck. And when I say we, I talk to my spirit guides before I select the decks. I'm always looking for a certain energy to go with them. So let's just jump right on in. This week we start out with the moon in your sign of Virgo. And so for you, you're going to feel this energy in the way you interact with the world, because your sun sign is how you feel inside. And if you are a Virgo rising, and this is for Virgo sun, moon, and rising, if it is your rising sign, then it's going to be how the world perceives you. It's how you interact with the world. And so it still colors your experience. And if it's the moon, well, it's how you feel about things. And so there's all this energy around the moon in Virgo this week that is about identifying the obstacles, about trying to figure out where things are going. And so that's just kind of goes through the whole week. But your overall energy for this week, we have the Queen of Water and we have the Nine of Earth. And to me, the Nine of Earth is very much a Virgo card. The Nine of Earth is about feeling independent and knowing that you can take care of yourself, you can meet your needs, that you have more than enough. And I think that is excellent, that energy to start the week with is knowing that you have more than enough. And if you are like, what, I'm not really sure I feel that way, then a great mantra for you would always be, I always have more than enough, and there's more on the way. And with the Queen of Water says, that intuitively, what decisions to make. She is spending a little time in meditation, as is this Nine of Pentacles, actually. And this is a great week to really feel into what you want to do moving forward, because we have a big eclipse starting next Monday. And so that energy is kind of being built toward all week. And so taking a little time to meditate this week, to figure out what your next steps are. What is it you really want to do? Where do you need to clear space so that you can start moving things in the direction that you really want to? So here we go. Queen of Water says compassion, emotional security, generosity, self-love, self-care, and the healer. And I am comfortable in my own skin. I love, cherish, and nurture myself. I am the best friend to myself. My relationships with others reflect my security in knowing I am always worthy of love and respect. I heal myself so that I can be the change I want to be in the world, and so my compassion can inspire others. And that self-love is really reflected in the Nine of Pentacles, in knowing that you can create whatever you want through discipline and self-reliance and using your resources wisely, right? And recognizing what are your resources, what are your gifts, what are the things that you have at your disposal to work with. And I don't just mean financial, right? Nine of Pentacles is what you can create. And it's the ability to look at what you already have and find new and innovative ways to use it, so that you are creating and you are building for yourself what it is that you want, the structure of your life, right? And it says, I know I can rely on myself in spirit. There are many tools at my disposal. There you go. I knew it. I use my resources wisely, solidifying the foundation of my security in the material world. I am diligent and disciplined, focused on completing the work I began long ago. I stick to my program, trusting that the plan is unfolding before me exactly as spirit intended. And so as we have this eclipse coming up on us, this eclipse is going to say things like you need to clear space for. You need to make room for, because it's an eclipse, but it's a new moon. So making space but hanging on to your dreams, hanging on to your hopes, hanging on to what you want. And so there's a lot of energy around that. On Monday, when the moon is in Virgo, it's going to trine with Uranus over in Taurus. And a trine is a very solid, very stable configuration. And that's also, you know, a nice configuration for your sign also. Lots of support there. And so the moon is going to ask you, what do you need to push through? What is the resistance that what are you resisting? Or what obstacles do you need to identify to overcome? So are they your personal obstacles, or are they others' obstacles, and you need to figure out a way around them so that you can keep your dream alive, so that you can create space for your dream, so that you can build the foundation for your dream. Before that moon exits Virgo, it is going to come into that supportive energy, that trine energy with what's going on in Capricorn. It's going to come up against Pluto that says, you know, so what do you want to transform? And Jupiter says, how can you expand that and make it better for your world? And then, you know, you have Capricorn that always says, what is your plan? What's the structure? What's the foundation? Where are you going to lay that last stone in the structure? So you have the dog. This dog is interesting because I don't know if you could see this. This is going to be an eclipse in Sagittarius, and she is holding a bow. It's called companionship, and it's a dog, right? The dog is companionship. The dog is loyalty. Nine of Pentacles is very independent energy. But this says that maybe that last piece to the puzzle is that you need someone to help you, whether it's a business plan or in personal or just someone you can talk to or count on, because you're pulling back the bow and you're getting ready to release and shoot your arrow forward with this eclipse. But you're not doing it alone. It could be that spirit is your companion because it is number 11. That's a very spiritual number. So don't forget to pray and ask for the help and the guidance that you need. Prayer. Okay. So emphasis on prayer this week. Asking for what it is that you want. Being grateful for what you already have. Prayer is just conversation. It can be as ordered as you want, as structured as you want, or it can just simply be a conversation with your Holy Spirit, which is your higher self, asking for guidance and giving gratitude for what you know that you have been guided toward. That's got a lot of this Queen of Cups energy here, Queen of Water. So you're going to be asked to dig a little deeper this week to really figure out what it is that you want. And then being willing to surrender into the process and being willing to release. I heard beliefs. Okay, that makes sense because it's in Sagittarius. So releasing long-standing belief systems that you've had about how you think things were supposed to go. Maybe being a little more open, a little more flexible, more willing to see that there might be another way to do things and surrender into the process. Maybe it's going to take longer than you think. Because spirit, the way they look at time and the way we look at time are really two different things. They look at time as all at once, everything happening all at once, and they see the past, present, and future kind of like in a big mixing bowl together, sort of, is what it looks like right now. It's like all swirling around together. But, for us here on Earth, it's very linear. And there's nothing that's linear about it. Oh, wow. Okay. So, part of this release is, before you go to bed at night, asking for guidance. And then releasing what that guidance looks like. And a really great way to do that is by paying attention to your dreams. So keeping a dream journal, waking up and writing down immediately what you think, or some people record into their phone or whatever. However it works for you. I personally like pen on paper. I think it flows better. It feels more like, I feel very connected to it then. But then you're like really wide awake, right? So however that works for you. So it says, pay attention to your dream time. Messages of guidance are drifting in. Also, it's the loon. Also, just when you're like sitting around and you get a random thought, write it down. I feel like snag those ideas out of the air. They're drifting in. They could be coming while you're driving down the road. They could be coming while you're washing the dishes. They could come when you're in the shower. Get a lot of guidance there, right? So just pay attention. I don't know if you guys, I clean houses, right? That's how I pay for most of my life. When I'm vacuuming and dusting, it's just so routine, right? And so it doesn't require a lot of my thought process. And so that has been such a big asset for me in my spiritual developing because I've had so much time to actually think. So find the place where you can find that sense of peace and calm so that you can do this for yourself. On Wednesday, the moon is going to move into, well, actually, it's Tuesday night at 7:01 p.m. when the moon moves into Libra. And Wednesday and Thursday, while the moon is in Libra, there is, so the moon is going to oppose Chiron in Aries. And Chiron's that wound that needs to be healed. Chiron is uncomfortable. Chiron's that thing where you're like, I really want to fix this. And part of the releasing and the surrendering is like, okay, I'm ready to let go of this issue. I am ready to move past this issue. You may not know how to do that yet, but the decision to love yourself enough to forgive yourself for getting into whatever the situation was in the first place, to forgive somebody else for coming along and being the situation or whatever. It was a lesson that you wanted to learn in it. And so if you can start with the forgiveness and then worry about the lesson later, sometimes that helps, or sometimes maybe it's easier for you, like, well, what is the lesson? Oh, and then you can forgive. So however that works best for you, I don't want to tell you what the process should be. I just feel that when we love ourselves first, when we forgive ourselves first, everybody else is super easy. And so when we recognize that part of the process of learning and growing is coloring outside of the lines, making some mistakes along the way, not necessarily getting it right, not knowing everything, being open to the growth through learning process. I have so much going on in my Virgo. It's in my 9th house, which is the house of learning and teaching and long distance travel and stuff like that. And so when I'm talking to Virgo, it's like, oh gosh, I totally feel it. It's like, I hate not having the facts. I hate not having things known to me. It's like, I'm kind of a detective in my life in so many ways. I know facts matter to me big time. So that's how I structure within that. I think if it's like in your first house, if you're a Virgo rising, like your whole life, it's like, I need things to be nice and ordered and tidy. But wherever it is, if you're a Sun in Virgo, which house is that in? And how does that really affect that area in your life? And so learning your chart, there is a chart calculator below, is very helpful, because then it starts to help you work your way through it. And, I do chart readings. So I do. I think that was a lot of do's. All right, so you guys check that out. That's in the description box below too. We have the sun's going to trine Mercury. Sextile Mercury. Mercury rules your sign, and so that's actually going to be pretty comfortable. That can be some really comfortable energy, even though it's happening in Sagittarius, which is another mutable sign, so that's kind of a squared off energy. That creates a lot of tension, but as the moon is doing this, the moon is comfortable. I think that you'll get a lot of information in like an aha moment, because we've got that whole Uranus thing happening there, where Uranus is being irritated by Neptune right now. Neptune opposes Virgo, but Neptune is in trine. No, it's in a really irritated energy. Okay, yeah, so I think that there's going to be this sudden aha moment about what it is that bothers you, and where it is that you need to do the deep healing. I think as you dig a little deeper, it's going to all pop for you, and you're going to have a much better idea of what to do with that. And then by the time we get to Thursday afternoon, when that moon starts squaring off with those planets up in Capricorn, it'll be again, how are you going to transform this? What's your plan? How are you going to manage this? You know, it's always about that. We do have Venus going to be in a really nice aspect with Pluto, which gives you a chance to really do that little bit of a deep dive. And you have a lot of cards for that. So you have generosity. What good is treasure if you keep it to yourself? You have wild. Believe in your otherworldly beauty. Dance with the waves and drink in the sunshine and recharge. There is nothing like a walk on the beach to soothe your soul. And these become really important as we move into that when Thursday night, the moon moves into Scorpio. So the moon in Scorpio is going to come into conjunction with Venus there. And so that's really beautiful, feminine, yin and energy of pulling our energy in. And as we move into Friday and Saturday and Sunday, because the eclipse is on Monday morning, those few days right before the moon is new, we call that the dark of the moon. And it is about pulling our energy in. It is about resting and recharging, and you have the recharge card. There's just words. Back's pretty though, look at that. Okay, so you have the recharge card. And so what does it take for you to recharge? You know, not everybody can go walk on the beach, right? But you can take a nice long saltwater bath. Or you can, you know, decorate a little or rearrange or whatever soothes you. Maybe it's just laying there with a good book. What do you need to do to recharge? Because this is a weekend where we do the deep dive about our feelings and our emotions, but we take the time. We take the time to recharge and be ready for what comes next. So believe in your otherworldly beauty and dance with the waves. This is like believe in your dreams. And generosity is a time to be willing to share your gifts with the world. Maybe not this weekend, but that could be part of this whole planning process that you're going through here, right? What is this big dream? So I wanted to get a card for the sun goes into Sagittarius on Sunday morning. Well, Saturday night, Eastern Standard Time, 9:39 p.m. So Sunday, as you're building up for that eclipse, it's a really great day to self-care. Self-care is going to be huge. So a little bit about this eclipse that's happening on Monday. Be sure to check back next week. I'll go more into it. But this eclipse is happening at the galactic center, or close to it. It's happening at 23 degrees. And then it'll cross into the galactic center. And the galactic center is, what is your truth? Where do you find the freedom? Where are you aiming for? So taking the time to nurture and care for yourself and to love yourself through this process this week while you prep for it is going to be really helpful. So you have purification. This is your Sunday advice. Sunday the 13th. Purification. By purifying your life of negative people, places, and experience, you attain true peace. You attain this peace. It's a white rose. So, yeah, maybe just this one day, you don't listen to the news. You turn off the phone. You turn off the TV. Unless you want to watch Hallmark movies. You know, and you do something that just, you know, makes you feel good. That makes you feel really, really good. There is one thing I want to mention. Friday is Hanukkah begins at sundown on December 10th. So actually Thursday. And that's at the dark of the moon. And I don't know, because I'm not Jewish, I don't know. So please excuse any of my ignorance that comes out now. I don't know if that always happens at the dark of a moon, if that's how that calendar is determined. it makes sense because what little I do know is that it's about there being enough oil to last for 8 days, for the lamps. In this dark of the moon with this eclipse coming, to me it feels like it is about us conserving our energy so that we can light the flame within us, so that when we come out on the other side of this eclipse, we are burning brightly. And when I was looking at that, all I could see was like, it looked to me like someone passing the candle around and other people lighting up, and I just saw the whole world light up. And so this is an opportunity for you to kind of conserve your energy, conserve your fuel, and be ready, because the time to start lighting up the world is coming, and it's coming very soon. So that looks really good. So you guys have a great week of preparation. Do what you need to do. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. And purify the negative energy out of your life this week. And dream and plan. Because next week, things start speeding up. They really do. People, I don't think you're going to be ready for this. All right, you guys take good care of yourselves, and we'll chat soon. Oh gosh, I almost forgot. Monday night, Monday Night Live. Meet me here, live on YouTube here at 7:30 p.m. from 7:30 to 9. I'll pull cards for everybody, and then I'll take questions. We had 40 minutes for questions last week. So I hope to see you there. You guys take care.